Honestly, looking back, it's not really that good. I
It was unexpected, certainly, uh, if not a little comical.
I did not like this book, honestly.
I kind of hate read this book, honestly.
Welcome back to my channel. I am Brenda, and this is Reading by My Shelf. So today, I'm coming at you with a book unhaul. These are all books that I have read, and it has been several years since I read them, and I just don't see myself picking them back up. So today I have about 8 books. These are not books that I disliked. These are just books that, like I said, I just don't see myself picking them back up again, and so I'm going to pass them on. These will either go on Pango Books, or I may choose to take them to my local used bookseller, and they do store credit. So, without further ado, let's get into it. The first book I have is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I actually won this as a Goodreads giveaway several years ago, and I read it and I gave it 4 stars. This revolves around a mother and daughter. Their grandmother dies, and the mother gets kidnapped. And so the daughter must then try to find the mother, and she gets taken to the hinterland, which is a world that the grandmother created or wrote about. And so she's trying to figure out what is going on. This feels very much like a fairy tale. It has some ominous aspects, but it's also kind of delightful and unexpected, whimsical, your typical kind of fairy tale esque story. And the cover is actually very beautiful. Next, I have Letters to the Lost by Brigid Kemmerer. This, I believe, is considered YA, contemporary romance, which, if you know me, you know that I don't generally read a lot of YA, but this book deals a lot with grief. This is about a girl who is writing letters to her dead mother, and then a boy finds them, he comes across them, and he starts writing back to her. And this is an exploration of death and grief and coping and how to move on and recover after tragic loss. And it was sad and bittersweet. I really enjoyed kind of the back and forth, the banter between the two young characters. So I found it really good. The next book I have is a very popular book, and it's one that I actually didn't love as much as most people, and that is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. So I gave this book 3 stars. I, at the time, had read The Nightingale, and when I compared the two, to me, The Nightingale just was much more compelling. I definitely was way more immersed in that story than this one. Not to say that this wasn't good, it was. It is a World War II story, and it follows several different POVs. And I believe that they have actually made a movie or series after this now. Either way, I it wasn't my favorite. I did like it, but I definitely don't see myself picking it back up. The next book I have is The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell. This is by Robert Degoni. I read this several years ago. This is a contemporary fiction, and it is about a boy who has a genetic disorder in which he has red pupils. And this is told from his own perspective in, looking back. He's kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, something happens where he needs to return to his hometown, and it brings up, dredges up all these old memories and experiences that he had, because having these red eyes, he was bullied and picked on, and he had a really tough childhood. So this is him kind of reminiscing about what changed him and changed his perspective. And so it was a pretty deep and meaningful read. I found it unexpectedly interesting and compelling. So, yeah, if you are interested, you should pick this one up. I gave that one 4 stars. I can't remember if I said that or not. The next book I have is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Harrow. And I gave this book 4 stars. This book is a fantasy in which there are secret doors and other worlds, which is a trope that I really enjoy. And I did enjoy this book. And it is a very pretty book. It's beautiful. It's got the deckled edges, but I just can't see myself picking it back up. So the next book that I have is one that I received in a subscription book box. And it was a subscription for, horror type books. And they sent a lot of obscure books that I had never heard of before. And this was one of them, but I decided to give it a go. And I ended up giving it 3 stars, I believe. It honestly, looking back, it's not really that good. I hate to say that, but it's pretty far fetched. It's all about a girl who receives a letter saying that she has received an inheritance, but that she has to go to this far off, remote location in Europe somewhere, I believe, and it's a castle. And when she gets there, all these weird um, things start happening to her, and she's trying to get answers, trying to figure things out, and everybody's just kind of keeping her in the dark. It is, and it's all about, the inheritance and the genealogy of your family, and so here it says, her ancestry has a dark side, and Bert soon learns that her family history is filled with secrets. As Bert begins to unravel the truth, she realizes that her true inheritance lies not in a legacy of ancestral treasures, but in her very genes. It was unexpected, certainly, uh, if not a little comical. The next book I have is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I did not like this book, honestly. I gave it 2 stars. I thought it was predictable, cliched. It's all about this actress, and it kind of tells her story, her privileged life. I just, I kind of hate read this book, honestly. And I know that a lot of people love it and read it all the time and talk about it, but it just wasn't for me. It's definitely, like I said, contemporary fiction. Yeah, didn't love it. And the last book that I have, Codename Verity by Elizabeth Ween. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with this. It actually was turned into a movie, I believe. Um, I gave this 4 stars, so I really did enjoy it. It is a World War II story in which a girl, a pilot, gets captured and interrogated. And so she is attempting to not reveal her secrets or the secrets of her company. And it is an exploration of will and the psychology of what it takes to be, to sacrifice yourself and your own safety for the sake of others. It's been several years since I read it, so I don't remember all the details, but I did I did like it. What about you? Are you unhauling any books this year, making room on your shelves for the new books that you plan to haul? I would love to chat about it with you in the comments, so please put your thoughts down below. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. See you soon.